So for today's video, what I want to do is take an existing uniform. I want to use dye on it to see what kind of effects we can get out of it. At the moment, I've chosen the old Desert DPM type shirt. I'm going to mix in some bright green with this to see what colour comes out. I've also got some blue and I've got some red and also a different style of green. So we're going to throw that in there and then I'll show you the results at the end. So the dye that I've chose to use today is going to be Rit Apple Green. I've read the instructions, so let's get going. It says that I need about 27 litres of water for the amount of fabric that I've got, so that's what we're doing now. Going to make sure that it's hot water to make sure that the dye sets in pretty well. And now that I've got the right amount of water in there, next I'm going to add the cup of salt that it says. And then I'm going to give that a nice little stir so it all goes into the water. So next I'm going to slowly add the dye in. And then give that a mix in as well. It also says that you're supposed to wet the fabric before dropping it into the dye, so we're just going to crack on with that. Need some water into it. Okay, so dropping the fabric in now, we've got the Desert DPM that's going in. It says we need this for about half an hour to keep it agitated, so it gives it a chance for the dye to set in. Also, for the sake of today, I'm going to stick some MTP style uniform in there as well. Hopefully this will give you guys a better idea what the results are for that. That's about 2 hours later, so now I'm going to transfer it from there into a bucket of cold water to wash off the excess dye, and then we'll let it dry out and we'll see how it looks. On first impressions, I generally think that the Desert DPM's taken the green dye quite well, but unfortunately for some reason the shorts didn't quite turn out the same colour, which I'm a little bit annoyed about that considering they're the same material. I'm probably going to try and use the same dye again, re-dye them and see if it takes it a second time around. As I said, I put a little tester in for the MTP. On the left you see a pair of normal MTP, the dyed MTP is in the centre, and then on the right that is the green dyed Desert DPM. Personally, I don't see that much of a difference between the MTPs, so it's probably not worth using the dye that I used if you are going to dye them. So, field test time. Went down to my local woods. Obviously it's not quite summer yet, so the greenery is not going to be as vibrant. I've done a few tests, which is close range, medium and long range. Here we can see that I've put the MTP on the far left, which is the undyed shorts. And to be honest, this actually probably works the best out of all of them. To the right of that, I then have the light green that I used, and then the shorts that didn't dye too well, and then to the far right we've got the Desert DPM shirt that generally did dye green pretty well. I placed it in various different parts of the woods, and as you can see, actually the Desert DPM green is actually pretty effective. As previously mentioned, the light green camos that I've got showing you in the woods is actually a different type of dye. It's not the Rit dye, it's Dylon Tropical Green. As you can see, here's a few photos that I took inside my house. I wouldn't particularly say this is going to be a very effective camo, especially if you're in the woodland. It's well too light. It kind of reminds me a little bit of mint chocolate chip. Moving on from there though, I did play around with a few other dyes. I've got Dylon Blue, which took really well actually to the Desert DPM. It's not quite a camouflage that you're going to be using in the woods or anything like that, but if you wanted a cool little trendy look on your combats that's unique to you, yeah, by all means I think it would be good in an urban environment. Moving on from there, I decided to try my luck on pink. Once again, pink took really well. It's not really going to camouflage you anywhere, but let's face it, if you're a girl and you want your own kind of style, by all means it'll work well for you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys will be able to make your own minds up on the dyes that you'll use if you want to create your own uniform.